All right, boys and girls, we're going to do our last video, and this is going to the chicken coop. All right, Miss Danielle, it's all yours and Briar's.
Let me open it for you.
All right, open it.
Mom.
And it's clean out day, so it's gonna be.
All right.
Or go on. No, leave them there. Go on through. Are you coming, Mr. James?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna shut the door behind you. Chickens poop a lot. He wants to feed. Well, wait until.
All right, so boys and girls, the chickens come in and out of here. I guess they're roosting here at nighttime.
They're roosting and then they lay eggs in
And
here.
so this is the place where they roost. And roosting means it's the place where chickens come inside to go to sleep at night. And they've also got some places to lay their eggs. Let me do a quick shot. See those eggs? Those are where the chickens that are coming and laying their eggs. The girl chickens are the ones that lay eggs, and they are called hens. After they lay their first eggs, they're called hens. Roosters are boy chickens, and they can't lay eggs. And both chickens, when they're first born, are called chicks. And then when they get about, I think it's 3 months old, they're called pullets. Then after they become pullets, they get a little bit older, and they become full-grown chickens. Either they are hens, and they're laying, or they're roosters.
Alright, so little James is going to feed the chickens. Our chickens are spoiled too. They get mealworms, dried mealworms every day. They got a cantaloupe this morning. We have 16 hens, 1 duck, and then that's our rooster out there. We have 1 rooster. He's going to fly in, I think.
And looks like you have some Plymouth Rock.
We do.
There's a couple of Plymouth Rock.
You got to throw it, James. Look, throw it out this way.
And if
We have
I'm,
some Easter eggers.
that's a Dominecker.
Yep.
I'm remembering some of my old days. And
He'll come
then
in. He can fly
the
in.
light red, I can't remember.
Golden Reds.
Long Island Reds. And then, let me see, I saw the crest.
Did you see the funny hair chicken?
Yeah, that's a white crest,
No, Polish.
Polish crest.
So my rooster, and then I have 1 hen that's a Polish.
Can I get mine?
No, hold on.
And so,
Right.
if you guys notice, that chicken right there, the Polish, they call them crest at the end because they have that hair on top of their head.
Hold on.
The crest of their head. So that's why they call them crest. Okay. Is that right, Miss Danielle?
That's right.
Okay.
Check out what Briar's got.
All right. Up and close and personal with Briar. And he has you guys hear James in the background, which we always hear little James in the background, don't we?
Always.
Okay. So when Miss Danielle's feeding and Briar's feeding, they just don't pour the chicken feed out all in one spot. They pour it out, they scatter it, or they sow it, or they spread it across the ground, because the chickens, they like to be busy, and they like to be, they like to search for their food. Danielle talked about, and Briar talked about, these chickens eating cantaloupe. So if you look really close, this Polish crest is having a good time eating cantaloupe. So chickens, Miss Danielle, they do lots of things. So can you tell us everything they do and what they do for us?
Eggs. That's the big thing. You still got it? Eggs. We get between 6 to 12 eggs a day. Prettier days, you get more eggs. And obviously, if you guys like chicken nuggets, that's where you get
So we get meat from them, right? And eggs.
eggs.
Now the ducks also lay eggs. They're quite a bit bigger,
I actually have some if you remind me of the house.
Okay. And they also produce meat. But you notice their feet, so see his feet? They're webs, right? because ducks like to swim. Look at the chicken's feet, and they are not webbed, right? Because chickens have their feet to claw around in the ground to look for insects and worms, and they grub for worms. All right, and I'm just gonna back up here and get Miss D in with the hen house. That's what we call back home. We don't call them the chicken coop, we call them the hen house. All right, so the new terminology is chicken coops and chicken houses, but the old terminology is just plain old hen house. And there's little James feeding the chicks.
They love to feed the chickens and collect the eggs.
All right, say goodbye, James.